Hey, CPA Club community, I'm Chris Vanover back with another 5-point episode. Today, we're diving into some important updates from the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, and specifically, we're talking about their new rules for reporting standardized firm and engagement metrics and how those changes could impact not only auditors, but also investors, audit committees, and the buyers of audit services. So with that, let's break down the 5 key points you need to know. Point 1. Pending approval by the SEC, these new requirements issued by the PCAOB for the reporting of standardized firm and engagement metrics are definitely a big step forward, and they're designed to improve transparency in the auditing profession and possibly how these firms register with the PCAOB will ultimately compete. So these new rules require audit firms to provide more detailed data on their practices, including their engagements, which will ultimately allow investors, stakeholders, and other buyers of audit services the ability to make more informed decisions. The goal is to make auditing more transparent and accountable. But let's take a closer look at the history behind how we got here. Point 2. These new rules didn't happen overnight. They're the result of 16 years of input from various sources, including the 2008 Treasury Department's Advisory Committee on the Auditing Profession, or ACAP, and feedback from the PCAOB's 2015 concept release on audit quality indicators. Now, during my time at the PCAOB, I was part of a very small team that helped to develop the audit quality framework and the initial set of audit quality indicators which we presented to the Standing Advisor Group back in 2013. So that work laid the foundation for much of what we're seeing today. And those two pivotal reports helped shape the direction of the PCAOB's approach, and the final rules you're seeing now reflect a very careful balancing act, taking into account the benefits of these new requirements and the costs for firms to actually implement them. Point 3, you might be asking, what's the point of all this? Well, the PCAOB, along with investors and audit committees, wants firms to actually compete on audit quality and not just price alone. And we know for years that audit firms have typically competed primarily by offering the lowest price, but that doesn't always reflect the quality of the audit. And in today's world, we rely heavily on reviews, whether it's for a new car, a restaurant, or even hiring a housekeeper, to help us make informed decisions as buyers. But when it comes to audits, that same level of transparency has been sorely missing. So the goal is to shift the focus from price to audit quality, hoping to create a more informed and transparent decision-making process and eliminate the commodity market our professions actually created. Point 4, let's get into some of the specifics behind these new requirements. So these new rules actually require metrics to be reported in 8 different areas, such as experience, workload, training, retention, restatements, and others. Now you can tell that those metrics primarily focus on audit personnel or the input into the audit process, and they're designed to give insights into how audits are actually staffed and supervised. For example, they might highlight the involvement or lack thereof of senior personnel, such as partners. Maybe they'll give you a better picture of the overall workload of auditors and how their work compares to other firms in the industry. Maybe they'll focus on the retention of staff across the firm, their level of training, their audit experience, or even their industry-specific expertise. So those details are really designed to help investors and audit committees, as the buyer of audit services, ideally come to a better spot in terms of understanding the resources behind each audit, enhancing transparency, and hopefully supporting more informed decision-making when it comes to buying audit services. Point 5, the final rules require firm-level reporting for every firm that audits at least one accelerated filer or a large accelerated filer under the SEC rules during the reporting period. Engagement level reporting will be required for every audit of those companies. Now, those thresholds target the firms and audits that account for the majority of U.S. public company market cap. And really, it's those folks that are going to benefit from greater transparency into audit quality. So the new rules do require firms to submit firm level metrics annually on a new form called Form FM, and engagement level metrics for audits of accelerated or large accelerated filers on a revised Form AP. So if it's approved by the SEC, reporting will begin on October 1st, 2027, with phased implementation based on firm size, with larger firms reporting first, followed by smaller firms the following year. So there you have it. The PCAOB's new rules mark an important step in making the audit process more transparent and accountable, with that ultimate goal of improving audit quality. If you're interested in exploring these points in more detail, head over to our blog at cpaclub.cpa/resources/blog for an in-depth analysis. Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next time.